All right, traders, to watch this video here for Thursday already because we had Monday off. It's flying by, right? Thursday, January 19th. Kind of an ugly day for the SPY. Dow was down about 600 points. And I'm going to go to my highlight. My best trade of the day was HKD. And I want to take today's candle out of it. And I already made a video about this, so I'll be brief. But you remember I had this on Bounce Watch like every video for the last week or so. I may have skipped it one day. And I even talked about in the video how the fact that this is round tripped and there's a whole bunch of bag holders, at some point shorts are still going to cover. And so now let me bring in the screenshot I took of today with my trades and everything. And there's a screenshot of Wayne from the chat room posted HKD volume. I saw that post and I knew this was an interesting chart already. I got along right there, 1079. I did a market order. The high of day was just above that, like 1081 or something. And that's one of the parameters for a Tokyo trade is you try to catch it before it breaks the high of day on that volume spike. My worst case stop goes like 30 cents below where that candle started. And you can see my scale from 1079, my scale outs sold some at 12, 13, and even 14 after the halt before it came back down. But it's a great example, and I already made another video about this, but it's a great example of why I was watching this one and why when I have a bounce play on the watch list, if it doesn't trigger, I keep it on watch, right? It ended up being worth it. Anyway, what are we watching for tomorrow? Let me go into the symbols here. Let's start with MEGL. Remember, the market was weak today. This thing had great relative strength, closing at 303. It does have a recent high just above at 350-ish. So tomorrow, today's high was 324. If we get through that, we might just rip through that 350. So this one is probably the most interesting chart out there for me. NRGV. Remember, these are all possible trades that I might take tomorrow, and I start with the daily charts that are interesting or in-play stocks, if you will. I'm in cash every night, so none of this is investment advice. I know I say that almost every video, but it's important for somebody to understand that I make my money between the bells. NRGV, big volume today, and a pretty strong move. I believe they had earnings, and it went from 4 to 551 before settling in at 480. You could argue in a weak tape for the overall market that maybe held up pretty well. Certainly worth keeping on a chart tomorrow. TCBP, big volume today, gapped up, closed below its open though, but then maybe that happened because of the market weakness. Topped out at 837 and it's got another recent high at 961. It's a very low float stock, so it does have potential, and so it goes on a chart. OTRK, huge pop today, but closing way off its highs. Obviously, just like a week ago, this was 40 cents, so it's certainly overdone, but I don't know. I'd like to see it come in for a couple days, and then it might be one of my favorites to watch again. HKD, I already talked about this one. Because of that move it made today, it didn't completely roll over. And sometimes it runs with that MEGL, right, that I just showed you. So this might have a follow-through day tomorrow, even though it closed well off of its highs. So it goes right back on watch. LASE hasn't been trading for that long. Nice little breakout today. We'll look for, it's a little extended now, but we'll see if it gives any kind of setup for tomorrow. NUWE is obscure, but I threw it on watch because while I was trading today, I saw it getting pretty nice volume. I'll show you 5-minute candles. That's a better way to see it. And then it came back down at the end of the day, closing well off its highs. It's at 832 right now in after hours. I think it briefly went up and took out after hours high, or intraday highs, sorry, in after hours. It's a low float stock, so it certainly can move. There it is on 60s though, so it's nothing really interesting on the daily chart. I just happened to notice the volume today. I know it's low float, so I'm going to throw it on a chart. MGOL has only been trading for 3 days and nothing but red days. I'm just going to put it right back on bounce watch like it was today. No trades in it today. We'll see if it gives something tomorrow. EH has had quite the run from like $6 all the way to almost 18, and now 2 nasty days down back near. You could argue a retest of this break, right? This high right here, when it broke there, it's come down to retest that, and you have the 20-day there. So EH setting up for a possible bounce tomorrow. IMAB has been a really strong stock, couple days lower on declining volume. We're going to put that on watch. And then lastly, STBX, which isn't interesting except that in after hours it's trading at $4 right now. I believe they had earnings in after hours, so possible gapper tomorrow. We'll add other gappers to this list as we always do in pre-market. And that's it for me. I'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning.